Yewura plane numa. The mhu yan say demons abawura plane num. Omu yanketenkete but oma so wapa. Ana oma bebe yanketenkete pa. Omu wings at a bat apan. Yet plane num sa plane num move ya the hu yan say engine nyina ko off. Enti mi original plane num a ni kwan say nka me yesa. Ana mse mo amuti plane num mu ntie me. Hede me hu biribi. Eti me ne me ma ene madamfo Yesia free plane. I want to press oko wu no tena plane.
Mema obi biara kwaba e de oba eye Ahintasem TV so. Reverend Owusu Bempah a share a very deadly testimonial. Say a happy year. Ewo ye onu ankasa na brabom agina so e de ahye ne nsore mba nkuran e ma omahu se Nyankopon den ewo ho na Nyankopon etimi eye ade nyina nto momfo mo ho enye de ento eye Nyankopon eso. In fact testimony no ya de a eso nya botre ene bre ene adagye na uditi eye ne nsem ne yepa according to ono ese na otu kwan akọ Switzerland a kire se oye transit ewo Ethiopia eye Addis Ababa na omoye transit ne mu no flight na omokọ akọforo ewo Ethiopia ede akọ eye Switzerland no ena bibi eye den esiye ewo flight ne mu a kire se ohu demons eba flight ne mu ebedi djuma bi djuma mu bedi nyina ne se nanka plane etu a esen ka plane no etimi crash na nka nya onu nti ena demons no ebedi sa adwuma no sen ka plane no enko crash ewo wiemu nanso na ayopi enti se demon no ebedi sa adwuma no Nyankopon ena kire se eba mu a ade a esen ka si wo wiemu no etimi ye den esi wo eye asase so a kire se nam so a ama plane no entimi antuo ena inside the plane no enkomodie bi koso bibi eye den ekoso a no de pepese wankasa wo gebrane adagye na wo kono honom aje se okutie ensem no different no mesra wo so benya bre anya adagye na odie tie ni nsem no akwakosi so he video no kosi ba bia ebia do pese wo ka na wo de hye wo nkuna no omomabamobuo no untimi enya that particular point no ti mesra wo se nya bre ni adagye esi enya nyame ene ba mu a ebia enkene do betia ne what a shock and asa gone too soon nanso Nyankopon etimi ba mu ebesave wo mu edifiri eye de wo sefo no ebehye etu omanimu a na eye play crash abusua mesro so nya subscribe ye to Ahintasem TV channel na wadawo mo abe subscribe ya na do nsa aboya adom no so de am sede bi adawo video bi a jede betum bi no so nsa ebetimi aka bi mesro so wi a na wa share na like so eye de e de am yenkoi na yenko he video no ne ba de ho bia no mede betum so
na Yaduru baby Ethiopia you're from Addis Ababa.
So
Addis Ababa.
When our first flight landed at Addis Ababa,
now you're through plane.
So we were boarding another flight
Johannesburg.
To Johannesburg.
You're plane numa.
As soon as we entered the plane, please listen attentively.
I
was not asleep.
Demons.
All of a sudden, I saw demons entering the plane. They were smallish, but they had long ears. And they had some tiny horns on top of their head.
Now, wings at a bat, apine.
And their wings were like that of a bat. I saw that these demons invaded the plane. All of a sudden, I saw these demons mopping the aeroplane.
But
there was no death
why?
In the plane. So when I gained my consciousness, I was asking, what am I seeing? What is happening? So as I was seeing them, I thought they had also seen me. But it looks like they could not identify me or they could not see me. But I was looking at them. All of a sudden,
business class.
I saw two of these demons went to stand beside a certain woman at the business class. One was holding a sword and the other was holding an arrow. And they were so furious as they were standing beside the woman. I also don't know the woman. So I saw that these demons had finished mopping inside the aeroplane, and they were done and they left. With the two who were standing beside the woman, they also left. So I was asking myself that what is happening? What am I seeing? What does this mean? So I also asked the Lord to give me an explanation to what has been revealed unto me. But I didn't hear anything.
Your plane are ready, I better take it off.
So everything was set for us to depart.
Exit ebi say demonstration in every. So the small car, I am a pushy plane, be push a plane now. Just say Bibia is on course.
So the air hostess had finished giving their making their presentation about the safety rules whenever you board a flight or whenever you are boarding a flight, and the plane was moving backwards to the position where it must begin to
pilot
take the flight.
Wachire hours duah yedi be free baby e wo no akọ Johannesburg.
To the point where the pilot also announced the hours that we are going to stay in the air.
Obi a watena play mu da bia nim o ma kire aduane a o mde be maye ama e book a obi a nhwem no nchuso aduane ope me pese me kire say bibia ye set.
So they are giving us a menu for us to go through so that you have the opportunity to choose or the privilege to choose the meal that you want or you prefer. So everything was set.
Engine is condition bibia.
So the engine had already been started. Everything was intact.
Yeah, full plane in an engine is so that.
So before we boarded the plane, the engine was already on.
Yeah.
Everything was set.
Afei yati plane sa plane move ya de hu ya ne say engine nyina ko off.
So as the plane started moving, before they will increase the acceleration, everything came to a stop. The engine stopped. The engine shut down.
Pilot also anka bibi ankyere but a doom.
The pilot did not say anything. No announcement was made before everything went off. So I was quiet in the plane. I was sitting down quietly in the plane.
And I rather catch me say, Nia esi ewo form and kebesi wasoro.
So as I was sitting down quietly, the Lord spoke to me and he said, what has happened here while the aircraft is on the ground was meant to happen in the air.
A hona me hu angel awukuta sword awobegina plane anim. Nti akire kura san the rade catch them so on the soma angel no e mo be stop plane no because demons are planning so on be crash plane no wasoro. Not because of me, not because of obi o plane no, but nipa ba ko pe bi nti.
So an angel appeared to stand in front of the aeroplane with a sword. So it was after the incident that the Lord was giving me details about all that happened, and he told me that he was the one who sent the angel to come and stop the plane from flying. So if you ask Reverend Nana Kwesi and my son Kofi,
engine call off.
When the engine went off,
just like that. Pilot no cry say engine be call off because everything is okay.
And the pilots themselves didn't know that the engine was going to shut down. But it took everybody by surprise. And And because of the revelation that I had,
na I'm saying no, something is not right.
I told myself that something was not
And
right.
what happened? I'm sorry you plane.
So I stood up in a plane
And I'm a call near Oya announce an chain.
and I went straight to the supervisor.
And I'm a busan said,
Of the
"There
air
air
hostess.
koso, BB koso."
So I asked her, what is going on? Something is happening.
And also, okay, Oba.
So she also told the prophet that she should give her some few minutes.
And I'm
She'll be
also
right back.
a baby a pilot for no.
So she went to where the pilots are.
Oba and I can't hear me say pilot for no say omu nim the reason why a plane no yes sir. But
So-
almost a technical problem na na almost say almost take care of it.
So when the supervisor returned, she told the prophet that this is there was a minor technical issue and they are handling it, so everything will be fine.
And I'm saying no.
So
no BB koso.
so the prophet insisted that no, something is going on.
And me original plane
So I stood up in the plane
I ni kwan say nka me yes sir.
and I shouldn't have behaved like that.
And I'm saying more amuti plane no muntie me.
And I said, all the passengers on board, listen to me.
Plane way the see or form and kebe si osoro.
What we just experienced on ground would have happened when we were airborne.
No nyame na ADOM na si or form ha se be ya enkosi soro ho.
It's by the grace of God that it happened when we were on land.
Intermediate me hu biribi.
So with me, I have seen something.
Etimi ne me ma ene madamfo ye si afri plane no.
So with me and my children and my friend, we are getting out of the plane.
Na wa person okowu no tena plane no.
But anyone who want to die, stay in the plane.
Ehɔ na obi tia mu ka say South Africa minister ene te hɔ no.
So it was at this time that someone shouted from the back that the woman sitting in
Dabi
front,
wan ka woman o. Or say
the person sitting in front is a minister from South Africa.
etimi me feel say a gentleman not te hɔ no because no me mienu.
So from the
Na ɔmo
direction
dressing-
that the person who shouted pointed, I thought it was a certain man.
Oh, in fact, omo dress ne kyerɛ sɛ omo yɛ enimonyamfo.
And their appearance signified that they were prominent people.
Enti call omo nkyɛn.
So I went straight to them
Na mka kyerɛ omo sɛ me yɛ minister.
and I told them that I'm a minister.
Plane na yɛ ti mu no. Sɛ yɛ kɔ so tena mu na san take you off yɛn nyinaa yɛbɛwu wɔ wiem. Enti wɔn na yɛ minister. Ɔkɔ nka kyerɛ pilot ne sɛ me si plane ne ntimi fly.
So I told this person that I am a minister and I'm telling him that if we continue to stay on board and the airplane takes off, we are going to die.
And I say, please, can you go and sit down?
And the man said, please, can you resume your seat?
And I'm saying, you want me to go and sit down?
And I told him, do you expect me to go and sit down?
Me, I won't sit down.
With
If
me,
you like,
I'm not going
you
to sit
sit
down.
down.
But if you want or you prefer,
Me,
you can sit
my
down.
family, we are going out.
But as for me and my family, we are going out of the plane.
And this flight can never fly.
And this aeroplane can never fly.
Enti to that mo pa mo hwe.
This aeroplane can never fly.
Afei,
If you like, you can
omo
challenge
san
me.
sparky plane ni biem.
So they started the engine again.
Afei, na air conditioning bo heat.
So the air condition was not working well.
Ehɔ,
Instead of cooling the air
and a
the air was
gentleman no
becoming
can say,
hotter.
South Africa minister net no be ka kyerɛ me sɛ, enya papa no omo mienu yɛ ne bodyguard, but maame no. Na just say maame na mu sɛ demons su na be gina ne nkyɛn ne sɛ ɛyɛ ɔno a. Ɛna me
So-
call maame ne nkyɛn direct.
So the gentleman who shouted about the minister from South Africa pointed the woman to me, that there is a woman rather who is the minister from South Africa.
ɛyɛ asɛm yi a ɛyɛ Owusu Bempah ɛkan we okwabrane ebetwe phone atwena comment tin I type tin e de ato se o oboa okwabrane betwe type tin se oboa cause eye ene ye generation ya bai yenyi bibia ni sofu bia eni Ghana ha odifo bia eni Ghana ha edemaye nti obi betwe se oboa na so sane po bekom oso daye bia na ehu de quick no wadu no sofu nchen nti mebusa wo osofu na awokọ ne nchen no ono na ofiri hwan say ni pakro na aso sese difu bia eni Ghana ha nyame sofu bia eni Ghana ha na so oso daye ehu ebi oso daye kra na ededa no oso daye no anya accident oso daye na bibia ide ato no ebi okro ni Ghana ho oti akontuo mu na nso esiye no ofofon efre ne maame ne papa se ompe baabi mfama no nti baabi kura na o papa na maame mfama wo no sai nipa na ofiri die ofiri hwan aya na mo wasa manfo agidi se bibi ani ho eye ogidie all right but me amiti here me megidi se bibi wo ho ahonhom wo ho tumi pa ye ka tumi a tumi wo ho aje se bibi nto woda se bibi nto woda ho ena ya wokeka sa na no we sofo pa ebetwe phone abetwe sa comment na kasa oboa cause onim say social media there account o use no a fake account a email can directly to YouTube and our type obi anhu no into betwe gu okeke so oboa obi bia nsi enya no kore sa na ye generation ya bai ye gidie bebre no a eye de eno no nipa bebre no gidie ye de eno no but bibia toda ena bibia phone ni so da enka bi hu se bibi eye den ewo ho se wogidi se eye abosum tumi ewo ho de a na wogidi se ye nananom etumi no ewo ho de a kai se sa na tumi esoso nyankopon tumi esoso ye den ewo ho se wogidi se bosum wo fie se wogidi se malam bi wo baabi na okon ho na obo ho ban na ye adwuma de ma wo de a kai na gidi se sa ena nyankopon tumi so ye den ewo ho we are making obi bubufu obedi matem ena Ahintasem de na nso so se bibi fu oni so pen a ya we help comment ebusuan koso the Owusu Bempah.
But the men behind him are her 8.
And I'm the minister. My family and I, we are going out.
So I told the minister,
if you want to die, you stay in this flight.
So I told the minister that as for me and my family, we are getting down.
And I'm sure
she can fly with this flight.
Come and follow me.
So I shouted in the plane that anybody who does not want to die, follow me and let's get off this flight. So people begin to rise up from their seats. So they came to call the minister, who was the woman seated in front, and they took her to where the pilots are. Minister ne baya no do omu krom kasa kan bibia kire ne body guys mienu. The mu yan so ma for my bag omu be piako. And I'm so wow. So when the minister came back, the minister is going. He said something to her bodyguards in their native language. And all of a sudden I saw that these gentlemen took their bags. So what did the woman hear from the pilot that she came to take her bodyguards? And they were getting on the plane. So I told all of them that have you seen that they are taking the minister out because he is of more relevance. They are taking her out. So some men came into the flight and was in charge. And the person said, he is the one in charge. Now, what is the problem? And what is the problem? This plane ain't meant to. So I told him that, gentleman, you know something? This airplane cannot fly. If you try, it will crash in the air. Now crash and when you may, I'm going to see what from Hano. And you're warning, because something is going on. And what would have caused the plane crash is what has happened here as a warning or as a sign to us that we should not fly. I've also my friend engineers. So afterwards, he told me that they have called their engineers and they are working on it, and within the shortest possible time, they will finish with their work. So after about 30 minutes, announcement came from the pilots saying
problem is very difficult.
That they are having some difficulties. They are having some difficulties
with
the engine, so they will not be able to fly. Put your hands together for the Lord.
Gentleman be on a wife at Timechi.
So there was a gentleman and his wife who were seated behind me.
Nobleman.
Some nobleman.
A honor free baby or one and obey him.
So he came from his seat.
Save our souls.
And he shook my hand and said, "You have saved our souls."
And I'm saying, "Glory be to Jesus."
And he said, and I said, "Glory be to Jesus."
Afei, Bakosubaya or see you are the man.
And another person also came and he said, "You are the man. You have saved us." So everybody came out of the airplane. They tried all their best. They still could not fly the plane. So we were given another airplane. So with Reverend Nana, Kofi, my friend and myself, we were seated and we were having our own conversation. That was when the Lord brought to my understanding the reason why the airplane was going to crash. It was because of the minister. There is a contention between this minister and some spirits. And these spirits have become so furious.
Two things.
There are two things. It's either they've offered their help to her, or someone is contending with this woman about her position. So when we left where we were seated, so when they came to call us from where the launch that they gave us to board a new flight, they went ahead of us. So when they got there and they could not find me, they were asking about, where is this minister? Where is this minister? So it was when we got there that they said, so far as we have the minister with us, we are safe to fly. So with Reverend Nana, Kofi and my friend,
oh, this is the minister. If the minister is going, then we are going. If the minister is flying, then we are going to fly. But if this minister is not going, we will go.
So when we entered the bus that was taking us to the tarmac for us to board the new flight, they were saying that so far as the minister of God is flying with us, we are safe. So far as he's coming with us, we will fly. So in the bus, everybody was looking at the minister.
I believe some friends are a political minister.
I believe some
reverend minister, but
I believe some thought I was a minister of state, but I'm a reverend minister. Not knowing there were some Ghanaians who were on board.
They know me.
So they were telling the other passengers that they know this man. So when we boarded the new flight, everybody, so everybody wanted to be sure if I was on the new flight. There were some who just came to where I was sitting to just come and look at my face and smile.
Your next plane, it take you off.
So the next plane took off. So I wanted everybody's heart to be at peace. So I intentionally stood up and walked to where Reverend Nana Kwesi was sitting.
Me said that kind of case sebe o mu nyina bete.
So I was telling Reverend Nana Kwesi and Kofi that this plane will take us safely. But I said it on top of my voice for everyone to hear me. So those who were clapping. Those who were happy. We were celebrating their joy. And by the grace of God, we landed peacefully. So when we landed at Johannesburg, some of the passengers came to me and they came to thank me that had it not been myself on the flight, we would have died. We would have lost our lives. But we thank you that God has used you to save us.
Plane, na engine na dum bibia off.
How come
off, everything off?
A flight which had the engine on, the engine went off all of a sudden. And the pilot was not aware of the course. So what if it had happened whilst we were airborne? It means God has done a lot for us. Put your hands together for the Lord of all creation. Glory be to the Lord for delivering us.
Although the acquire and souls be playing I rade a wabotabi momo and untina ebi or the echo plenum at that time because Nanko Senkia Sunday evening. Baby Binti may I say a command day.
So we were supposed to travel on Sunday evening, but for some strange reason, I changed our flight from Sunday evening to Monday. Although what we went to do was equally important, but I believe that there were some passengers on board who were on the will and the plan of God. And God used this opportunity to save them. They stand to reason that you are not going to die any moment soon. Put your hands together for the Lord.
Unim say, Minister no, yes, he came play nuclear conference and one conference.
Do you know that the minister did not board the new flight with us?
Because me man so often not catch the body guys no. Say no.
So I sent Reverend Anakwesi to go and tell the bodyguard of this minister of state about my revelation. On country minister and say me person in the better akasa. Me hear a number, me family number so man. So I told Reverend Anakwesi to tell the bodyguard that I don't want to talk to the minister herself. I don't want her number. I don't expect anything from her. But I'm just telling her what the Lord has ministered to me. So she should call her prayer tower, her men of God to pray for her.
Into your next plane,
so with our next flight, the minister and her aides did not go with us. Who is not afraid of death? It was intentional.
Connection.
And it was intentional that I did not create any connection or any link with her. Because I don't want or I don't need anything from her.
As an advantage. No. The Radi farms we are the on trend by Miss Muntran baby. But me bomb pie man pa me cook me bomb. I know I say me bomb pie man and they say my bomb pie man pa said Radi deliver me every side demons in his.
So if it was someone, the person could have capitalized on the fear that gripped this woman and had taken her and would have taken her number and to create a contact or a relationship with this woman. But I intentionally didn't talk to her, didn't take her number. Although I've been praying for her from that very day, even up to this morning.
I didn't know I'm full plane. So far, I didn't know I'm full plane.
Why didn't she come and join us on a new flight?
Abusia, when is somewhere everyone's been passed with the two jar or a yana sort of them. Also, bit much about this particular video. or comment section there on message so we na onya subscribe ya na subscribe ya na don sa aboye adoma no so e dey am said be adoma video bi a ye betum bi ano so nsa e betumi aka bi message so uwia na wa share na like so e dey amame.
All right, keep on watching Ahintasem TV. So what you say, I wanna know papa and the papa, baby papa, dear friend, dear anything. I wanna Ahintasem TV. Give us the best.